out here.
Hi, my name is Carlos. I travel, I tattoo, and I take it all in. One country at a time, one tattoo at a time. Travel is what inspires me. Tattooing is what guides me. This is how I interpret the world. This is the global canvas.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to what is going to be a very exciting day on the stream. Today we are going to be putting in some keystrokes. If you don't know what keystrokes are, I will tell you. Keystrokes are like final details where you want to draw the eye. So if I want people to focus on her face first, we'll put some keystrokes on the face. If we want it to be on this hand over here, we'll put some on there. And basically we'll just dial them in wherever we see fit, wherever we want to see points of where you want the eye to land for the viewer, or where you want to really tell the story for the detail of what's going on. So we'll probably end up putting some over here, and then mostly over here. But I'm not really going to be putting in any keystrokes around here because it's not necessarily the place that I want you to look at first, second, or third. If I think about things in terms of working in thirds, excuse me, burping. I just had an amazing Mediterranean meal, and now I'm drinking my bubbly water, so I might be burping to myself a lot today. Where was I? ADHD. It's pretty serious with me. So anyway, we're going to be dialing in some keystrokes today. I cleaned up a little bit of an area on my palette here for you guys to see that. Sorry, my filter. I'm getting some light reflection right here. Let's see if I can adjust that for you or not. If not, no biggie. All right, we'll just let that roll. But I opened up an area here so you can see me mix up some tones today. So I'm going to re-pour my normal exterior here with some fresh color, because it's been a while since we streamed, and a lot of this is going to be dry. And then we'll mix up some colors for areas of focus. Pretty obviously, oh, that was a light yellow ochre, by the way, that I just put down there. This is Naples yellow light. Yeah, most of the areas that I want to focus, the keystroke areas, are going to be in our foreground feature here. And this is not the last stream on this painting, but it's getting very close to the last stream on this painting. Already got our next one set up and ready to roll, and it's much bigger. So instead of doing this smaller, this is like the scale, my hand for scale. Here's a dime for scale. Instead of doing this smaller style painting, we're going to be doing a larger style painting. It's not the size of a mural, but it's the biggest I can fit in my studio here. So that's going to be exciting. I just put some transparent red lake oxide out here. Might not need it, probably won't need it, but we're over pouring today. That's what we're doing. We're pouring way too much pigment because really all we need are the world's like tiniest little dabs of paint to drop here and there. Oh, some titanium white. Titanium white from Blick. I don't know what I'm going to do with this final painting yet. Every painting is going to need to sit for like 1 to 3 months after it's done to fully cure, and then we'll put a protective layer on, varnish layer on it. Having the CPL filter, I think it's CPL, polarizing. Having the CPL filter really makes it easy to see everything that's going on here, but in real life there's reflections here and there from too much not too much, but more medium or a pigment that is naturally more shiny, and then some that's naturally more matte. So it's all over the place, kind of hard to really see the detail of what's going on. However, when we varnish this in a few months, let's call it February. Today's the 11th. Yeah, probably let's just call February 1st. We'll throw a layer of varnish on. We'll do it back on the stream. The colors will pop. Everything will look a whole lot more obvious and crisp and clean, which I'm looking forward to. It's always one of the most exciting parts of any painting. Getting to varnish it. And then it'll get framed and it'll get probably hung in the studio here. I think it'd be awesome to just hang it behind me on the wall so that you can see it. That's probably what I'll do. So you can see it in all the streams moving forward and be like, hey, I remember that one. We watched that for like 30 plus hours. Grab some warm white here. I actually added it up. We've been, so far, as of this stream in this exact minute, it's been 31 hours and 15 minutes of live painting. All right, that should be good. Is my violet's still tacky? So yeah, pretty exciting. Very happy. Also this afternoon, our channel hit 10,000 subscribers somehow, some way. So that's very exciting. So thank you everybody for tuning in. If you're catching up later on down the road, if this is a year after this video was posted, I hope 2026 went well and you're looking forward to 2027. If you're seeing this tomorrow, 2026 has yet to happen, so don't freak out. You didn't fall asleep for too long or anything like that. Okay. So what we're going to be doing, like I said, we're putting in keystrokes. And we got to figure out exactly where we want to put them. I know for a fact I want to get some in the hand here. I know for a fact I want to get some in the face. I know for a fact I want to get some over here. There's still a missing ballerina flat over here, and I have to finish the ankle strap portion of this ballerina flat. So we might do that today. We might do that next stream. We'll see how these keystrokes go. But we're definitely going to focus on this part of our figure. This window here, these lights, they're really already screaming. I don't know if we're gonna need to keystroke them, but we'll see. We'll just focus on our figure at first. And I wouldn't mind doing a couple on our garbage over here because it's like my favorite part of this painting. So, having said that, first thing we gotta do is we gotta get a good medium flesh tone mixed up. Oh, also, we're gonna need to be using very small, delicate brushes for these really small, delicate details, so I gotta find a good brush for that. Maybe this guy will do. We shall see. But yeah, let's just start mixing them up. I'm gonna pour out some liquid. This Winsor Newton Liquid Original. It speeds drying. This is not super necessary right now, but the part that I like about it as well is that it also improves gloss, quote unquote. So it does also yellow, so you gotta be careful. You don't want to use too much of it because it will tint yellow a little bit. But I don't really care about the drying speed on this. It's just the workability. By mixing my pigments here with some liquid, I can really dial in how quickly it comes off the brush, almost like you're using one shot or like a lacquer paint to paint like details on a car or something like that. So right now I'm just grabbing some liquid and we're gonna mix up a quick little flesh tone. So bear with me while I do that. And we'll get to a good medium flesh tone right off the bat. And like I said, I want this to be nice and liquidy, so it slides quick. But I don't want it to be too transparent, so I'm gonna... Normally I wouldn't do this with a brush, I would do this with a palette knife, but I just looked at this brush, I touched it, and I was like, yes, I would like to use that. Alright, so that's a little bit too warm for my taste, so we're gonna knock it down a little bit. And that was a lot of it. That's alright. This whole procedure is about failing in front of people. Something I've never been afraid to do. If you followed me throughout the years, throughout my various musical endeavors, throughout tattooing, oil painting, pretty much anything I've ever done, you'll know that I have no fear of dropping the ball in front of somebody. That fearlessness is really, really helpful. Honestly, honest to God, really, really helpful if you're trying to if you're trying to pursue a dream or a goal. Gotta have the courage to go for it. If you want it, you can have it, but you gotta learn to reach out there and grab it. All right, so we got a few different tones here that we can play with, so that's cool. I'm gonna set this brush to the side. We'll call that, as Bob Ross would say, a happy little accident. So now we have a few different tones that we can use, rather than just the one. So I'm going to try to find myself the perfect little liner brush for the job. And I got a few. They're used. You know, I like to use like brand new brushes whenever I can, and then obviously clean them at the end of every session. But you see how these bristles kind of, see if I can focus on them. See how they kind of fan out there? I want something super sharp. So I got a couple different brushes here. Let me show that one. It kind of fans out, but if I put some pigment on it, I can kind of flatten it out. Well, this is going to show up. I can flatten it out to like a chisel tip. So that gives me the opportunity to get it in nice, tight little details. Okie dokie. I'm going to grab a big old fat brush. This is not for painting. This is just to rest my hand on. By the next stream, by the next painting, that is, I'm gonna get myself a maul stick. I'm gonna fashion one. I'm gonna build one. And a maul stick will do the exact same trick as this. It's kind of hard to see on screen. So what I'm doing is I'm resting the brush on my palette over here, just on the edge. And then on an angle, I can put my palm up there, so I can hover right above where I'm trying to paint and drop a nice tight detail in. And what the goal is here is to get a little like impasto brush stroke. So a little bit of a thicker piece of paint sticking up off of the canvas. It catches the light in the real world. So that's helpful for making things pop, like literally and figuratively. Most of the painting I do here is like really thin layers. So I can't necessarily say that I'm a textural painter. It's never really been my thing at all, quite frankly. But these little keystrokes, these little final strokes, it's pretty important to get a little bit of lift with it. Just so the light can catch. Also, these strokes that we're putting down, they'll be a little bit less blended and more on their own, but again, this is like just a painting trick to catch the viewer's eye where you want it to go. So like, hold this up a little bit closer, see if my camera will focus. You can see how blended most of the tones, I mean they're pretty scratchy because it's a small canvas panel, but see how blended most of these tones are, but then how just like single pass these are. That's the goal, that's the idea. And we want them to go down in a way where they just go down and they differentiate themselves from the rest of the strokes on the painting because of that. Mix up a little bit more liquid so I can get a little bit more lift. They do make products that are just for adding thickness to the paint. For this purpose, for impasto painting, meaning really textural. I'm mixing up some more of what you can see in here. This like smaller puddle here is just a much brighter tone than the rest of the flesh tones. This is like if we were tattooing right now, we're putting on our white highlights. Sorry to bring back horrible memories of the time you got tattooed and the artist put in the white highlights. Nice. See how much brighter? It gives just the right amount of brightness. Let me zoom in for you guys, actually. There, now you can see better what we're doing. You see how much like brighter it is? It just like informs where the light is hitting. It's a little bit unnatural. This is almost like fully lit by the sun, even though it's a nighttime scene. But again, like this is just the final few strokes, just tricking the viewer's eye of where we want it to look. So it's not all about realism necessarily, unless you're talking about like Trump Toil realism, which is going to be more of like a trick, almost like a parlor trick, if you will. Like close-up magic. Really happy with this painting. I'm happy I achieved my goal of making it as difficult as I could for myself. First painting back, you know, after many, many years. Let's see. Use the keystroke to tighten up this spot, I suppose. Now I need to work on the hair and this ponytail band here. The ponytail band, she's got black hair as a dancer. I'm going to also keep the band, ponytail band black. So that means it's going to receive a more bluish highlight, because black stuff, as you can see, like what we're playing with up here, black stuff in darkness that's catching the light typically pulls itself a little bit more blue. So let's mix up a little pile of blue. I don't want it to be like bright. I want the chromatic value to be kind of low, actually. So you can see the highlight is bright, but the chromatic value isn't, meaning it's not like a really rich bright blue, it's more of a grayed out blue. And again, we're just going for keystrokes here, so just a few little guys to draw the eye. Nice. Nice. Started watching the new Frankenstein, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. It is awesome. I don't know if any of you guys are horror fans or not, but unless something terrible happens in the last 25 minutes, it is turning out to be an incredible film. And it might be one that I end up putting on quite a bit. I'm wondering down here if there's anything else I need to do. Maybe put like a couple little hairs. Nah, I don't need to get that hyper detailed with her hair. It's not really that much of a concern to me. Of mine. I'm really excited to move on and start our next painting project after this one's wrapped up. After today, the keystroke session, there'll just be like some minor tuning and tightening to do, and then any final glaze work, and then that'll be it. And we're on episode 28 right now. I think I'm just going to stretch it to 30 episodes, and I think that'll be an appropriate amount of painting. By the end of today, we'll already be at 32 hours on this bad boy, so I think that's enough instructional, huh? Alright, let me see if I can... Yeah, there we go. Now you can see both my palette a little bit better and this hand. I had a couple of strokes too, a couple of keystrokes. I'm going to grab just some liquid here and a rag that's off camera on this side. to wipe off a good amount of the paint that's on there, because I don't want my keystrokes and my flesh tones here to be like cool or cold, you know? Meaning if we mix too much blue in there, then it's not going to show up correctly. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I want to do a bright orange for those ones because that orange glow is affecting those fingertips, so we're just going to come straight out of this cadmium orange. Drop those ones down. Do I need another brush for this trick, or is this one gonna do? I'm just gonna keep working with this one. I don't know what I did with my other one. My other little guy. Alright, that's fine. Okay. Grab some cad orange and see if we can't pull directly out of it. Hopefully my camera picks this up for you guys. Nice. Nice and bright. Affected by that orange light. I will need to put a couple more. Ooh, I'm definitely gonna put something shiny on the torso here. This will be pretty minimal. It's definitely where I want it, but I don't like the value there, so I'm going to mix this down a little bit deeper, a little bit lower. I still don't like it. That's okay. We'll let it inform us on where we're going to take it. We never really did any of the tattoos on her torso. She's got her ribs tattooed in her back. So maybe we can do that in this session today. Also, I should probably mix up this pink tone, huh? Put like a nice couple of keystrokes in the front there too. But let me deal with this belly first. Grab a nice soft blending brush and blend that out. Or just kind of like mat it and push the tones into each other and into the texture of the canvas board. Gesso board, sorry. Yeah, similar to how we did these tattoos up here, we should do the same down here, so I might need to dedicate like a micro session to that. But let me stay focused right now on these keystrokes, and then maybe one of our last 2 episodes can be on that. So I need to mix up a nice pile of this pink reflective color, so I get some big ooey gooey brush strokes out of it. Take titanium white, some magenta. I think that was the recipe for that tone. Let me get some liquid in here just to really mix and thicken this up. It's pretty bright, but I want a little bit more red. Yeah, and then now the magenta's really showing. Nice. All right. Yeah, let's put some nice flashy shine here. There's only a little bit of wraparound light here, so I'm not going to bring that back any further than that. The waistband of these leggings. This is pretty messy through here. I do have the smoke effect coming through here, but it's a little tricky. It just looks a little messy right there. So I'm going to pull her in front of the smoke and just let that sewer smoke disappear behind her. If I'm not mistaken, that was our last session that we did, was adding that sewer grate and then the smoke coming through it. Nice, that's beautiful. Cool. That's off entirely. Pick that up and try again. Nice. Nice. And then also, we lost some of the shape in the butt here when we pulled that smoke in the foreground. So let me grab another brush and really quickly put some of that back in. And I could just use straight ivory black and just glaze it in, to be honest. So I'm not going to mix anything up here. I'm just going to pull straight from my ivory black pile. I got this rag off screen. Sorry, I don't have it camera on it, but I'm going to wipe off most of the pigment. So I can just come back in and redefine the shape. Old girl got a booty now. Also, while I have this out, I'll put a deeper shadow in here too. Something that it needed and that it was lacking. Nice. And then I'll use a little blending brush. Push that off to the side there. Cool. All right, so we're good there. What else do we need? Let's see. I really like this effect. That's really cool. Let's back the camera up here for you, and then you guys will be able to see a little bit more of the full effect here. Nice. Cool. We're getting somewhere. What else? This is pretty choppy down here. I should probably clean that edge up, huh? I can use this brush that already has this highlight on it, but then I can pull a harder shadow right off of it. So let me whip up another little bit of black here. I'll just butt right up against that highlight and just yank it backwards. Same as down here. See how like muddy and chopped up that is? Just go in and clean that right up. And something I've been saying all these sessions, all these streams, is that oil paint, it's really like a lot about layering, and you have a lot of opportunity to go in and tune and fix things. So much of like the first 20 videos of this was me saying, oh, we can take care of this later, or take care of that later. And today is later, you know? Now we're out here tightening things up, getting ourselves good to go to call it a wrap soon. Cool, I'm going to tighten up this highlight on the knee on the back leg here too. Nice. Feeling pretty good. Definitely enjoying this. Let's see if I can turn this lamp down a bit if that helps anything. Oh, what am I missing? Still gotta work on this foot, but before I do that, any other keystrokes that are super necessary? I dislike how chunky this part of the O is right here. I would prefer that to be a lot smoother, but I just don't know if I have the brush to do it right now. I'm gonna have to clean one of these other brushes to get it like really sharp, and I don't think I have that. I mean, honestly, any round brush, as long as you load it with enough paint, it should pull like a nice tip. I'll show you that if I find a decent one here. I feel like there's a whole host of brushes that are still in my sink right now. And that's why I keep having these difficulties finding the perfect brush. So here's like a big old soft watercolor brush. But let me see if I can pull a nice tip out of it just by twisting. And you just play with a couple of those little hairs that stick off the very tip. It's our joke here. I'm currently just holding a handful of brushes. So now I got a pretty sharp tip on this. Let's see if I could just dance off that here and straighten this out a little bit. Well, certainly can. It's the power of a good sharp round. Drop this handful of brushes off. Try my best to reshape the top of this O. It does feel a little bit more like a neon light now, doesn't it? Digging it. We're getting close, ladies and gentlemen. Look at all that. All those layers of paint. See how it's a little bit more matte here and then shiny, and all that stuff's gonna get handled once we get a layer of varnish on it. But I gotta wait realistically about 3 months for this to fully cure, so that's safe to jump back in there. I like this elbow up here. I like how that's looking. Drop a little bit of a highlight right there, not much. Maybe the cheek, maybe her cheek. Let's see. This cheek or this cheek? Just kidding. This cheek up here. Yeah. Really brighten that up. Same with her eyelid here. Brighten that up. Nice, nice, nice. I like it, I like it. Couple little tones in here. This arm feels pretty neglected when it comes to the highlights, but I like it being pushed in the background like that. But right now it's pushed a little too far into the background, so we're going to drop a highlight edge along the top. And maybe the bottom too, but we'll start with just the top and see how that works. That back just a little bit. Yeah, this is definitely the move. Let me take it a little bit more seriously here. Getting all quiet because nobody's in chat today. Trying to keep the narration going for you guys. I just always, it's so much easier when you have somebody to talk to. I know I'm basically just talking to you right now. So in my head I'm like, future people, this is how you want to put a highlight on an arm. Future people, this is how you want to highlight on some smoke. And you see now how we're adding these keystrokes, and it's really just pulling your eyes around. It's honestly, it's only been here because that's the only area I've worked. I did this a little bit. The shoe has a couple of bright highlights that we did before. Let me indicate where the ankle strap is going to go here. I'm going to blend out of these previous tones here. Nice, super shiny. Still going to make one over here. So let's come down this way and start working on that foot. Let's see, if it's ballerina flat, it's really only going to hit up to like the top of the heel, and it will cover the toes, but it's going to drop down dramatically starting like about here. A little makeshift maul stick. Indicate the scrunchiness of, I don't know what the material is, if it's like a silky, I don't know. I should ask a ballerina. I know I have one that follows me. Maybe next time she's on I can ask her what these flats are made out of. And again, for those tuning in late, there's no reference on this. We started months ago with reference of ballerina and alleyway, but all of this universe is something that we've made up as we went, which is definitely my jam. Oh, you know, we don't have much of a shadow from her. I mean, there's a little bit of a cast shadow down here from underneath her toe, so let's pump that up in today's session, and maybe a little bit of a cast coming this way. I mean, there is this light that's thrown over here, so it would pull a little bit of shadow over there. And I do need to file out this edge around there a little bit more. So let's grab a little burnt umber to do that first and foremost. A little yellow ochre. Just get that like kind of rusty-ish tone. Oh, but it is a little darker too, so we're gonna put a little ivory black in there. Yeah, there we go. Now it's like a dulled out grayish tone. That really instantly helped shape out the top of this foot. Look at that. Boom. That's some good stuff there. Some good news. I like that. Alright, so now we need to set up shadow glaze of just straight lamp black, and then we'll just pull it and blend it out with a blending brush, I suppose. Raw umber and I keep saying lamp black, I mean ivory black, so sorry. Raw umber and ivory black are really fun to glaze with, but you gotta be really careful to not destroy your entire value structure. Oh man, that was a bummer, that went way too high. Sorry, get my head out of the way here. The reason I was saying about the destroying your value structure is that if you use like straight black, it always grays out your tones. We really don't want that, obviously. You want to have like a more rich and vibrant world that you're creating, so. Alright, you can see that shadow there. We're just going to kind of buff that out. Not buff it out, like get rid of it, but just like softly dissipate it into the underlay here. That's a real bummer. What happened is the brush I was using to put that on has like a chisel edge to it, and I caught it on the wrong side. So I got options. I can try to smudge that out with like a little rag and repaint that. I think that might be the best way to go about it. I mean, it only took a couple minutes for me to paint that color in flat anyway, so. Yeah. Just pull that out and we'll put it back in. Push-pull method. Yeah, that's better. Now let me see what I can do. Hold this brush the right way this time. I'm pulling this shadow in more. Can we like get out to like there maybe? Yeah, it's picking up the depth a little bit. in, make it disappear. Yeah, a little bit better on that shadow. I like the realism effect there. That illusion of depth. Pretty rad. You can kind of see the legs coming back towards the front of the canvas too, in the shadow. Like it's coming this way. Because that light is technically behind her. Not dead on behind her, like pushing this way, but like coming backwards from space a little bit. So that does push the shadows out this way a little bit more, so let's do that. Let's add just a little bit more shadow coming this way. We'll keep it nice and soft. Yeah, it's tight. I like that. And what about the trash over here? Do we need keystrokes? I think I need a couple of like bright reflections off of the trash bag, which are already indicated there, but I can double tap that. Let's do that. Double tap that with some brighter reflections. I don't want this warm white though, so I'm gonna come over here and make a new pile. Titanium white and something that's a little bit cooler. Maybe just a quick dab in here. Yeah, this camera I can't zoom unfortunately, but you can see how this is decidedly warmer than this. This is still a little warm though, so grab some more of this bluish tone and see how that cools off relatively immediately. There, now I have a nice cool highlight I can use. Just double tap these and make them a little shinier. Nice. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Again, just using our imagination. We don't have any. I never had a reference for the trash bags at all, not even in the slightest, so just making up shapes and how much light hits where. Use this blender brush to soften it a little bit. We got Fire the Rat. It's a rat whose nickname is Fire. So just chilling there. Again, let's take a look at Fire the Rat, but with dime for scale. Fire the Rat with a dime for scale. Rad. It's funny how when you get up this close, it just looks like a messy abstract painting. Those little cigarette butts down there in the trash. Then you come way back here and your eye loses that illusion, or creates the illusion because it loses that clarity and focus, and then boom. Nice. Really quick before we go, I'm going to take care of, there's a couple smudges down here in the corner. This is my desk right here, and then this is the panel here, so I'll clean up these little smudges while I'm looking at them. And these ones I kind of like, but if I'm being a professional here, I gotta get rid of those, so do that. Also, this gives us the opportunity to show the reflection of the door in the wet pavement a little bit better, so that I like. Happy with that, happy with that. I wouldn't mind taping over this package and putting a better shadow underneath, because right now it looks like it's lifting a little bit. Like it looks like the package is slightly hovering. Why would that be? What is causing that to happen? If I closed, I think it's just because it's so dark and then it's immediately lighter. I need a smoother transition coming out of there. So let's do that. Let's throw a little piece of tape on there. Let's see if I can't sharpen that up, and then that'll be it for today. Or today's shenanigans. This tape I got from a hobby shop. People familiar with the Livonia, Michigan area, the Metro Detroit area. I got this from a place called RIW Hobbies. Shout out. I'm gonna put a little bit more liquid in here because technically we're just doing a shadow glaze right now, so I'm gonna thin that out a little bit. By doing the masking tape trick, it allows me to... No, I should have a better one for this. It allows me to get that straighter edge there, that straighter line. And then I can just softly pull off of it. And hopefully we have a more convincing shadow when it's all said and done. Still looks like it's hovering a little bit, but I like it. I think all I need to do is there's like a little highlight underneath the Amazon swoosh right there. I mean the shipping company swoosh right there. If I can knock that highlight down, I should be good, but I'll take care of that later. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. We only got a couple left, so if you're seeing this late, set up your notifications so you can be live for the last couple. Otherwise, I will see you guys... I think I'll be back next time.